It's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. It's Saturday. I'm just getting started. Slept in a little bit. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Kukuza for asking me to play this Dipset classic Cameron. Oh boy. Shout out to my man. He's one of the WebBot members. But again, hope you guys are doing well. We're going to get right into it today. Let's first take a look at the coin market cap. We are sitting at 563 billion. Bitcoin's dominance is at 34.5%. Kind of floating around the same area as far as dominance. But the market cap has gone up, I think, about 10 billion since yesterday. Somewhere around there, if I can eyeball it right. So looking pretty green. I know a lot of the alts have been up since yesterday. And let's just take a look at this chart really quickly as well before we get into the article. The subject at hand today, as you can see, it almost followed my line and broke right out my secondary line, and it broke the trend line. So this is another bullish move to me. What we probably will have, just out of knowing how this goes, we may bounce back off the top side of that trend line and then head up. That's normally what happens when we break out of a trend line area. We usually tap the back side of it before heading up again. So let's see what happens, but I think that's a pretty bullish move there to see us get outside of that trend line or pennant, the top of the pennant actually, as I drew here earlier or yesterday. So I think that is where we stand. Again, we may hit the back side of that pennant, the top portion of the pennant, and then continue up from there. So we'll keep an eye on that. You can always follow me. I'll leave the link to my TradingView profile so you can follow my chart. I may update it during the day or whatever in between videos. So if you want to keep abreast to what I'm doing technically on Bitcoin, check me out there. So today's article is about the big FUD coin Tether. I like Tether actually, and what they're doing. As far as I did an article maybe about 2 weeks ago, they are converting their Omni layer token into an ERC20 token. So that way you can keep your USD Tether tokens in your own Ethereum wallets, ERC compatible wallets. That's good, man. That's almost as good as dollars. It's just as far as going into, not saying fiat is good. I'm just saying having a base where you can have dry powder. When markets tank, you'll have dry powder. It'll somewhat hold its value. It will be a great hedge for individuals. I think this is a great tool for that. I know there's been a lot of FUD behind Tether, but this article, people, hopefully it may be slightly biased because the person vouching for this is I think an early investor in Tether or whatnot. But to say the least, Tether has not collapsed after, last year we had a few FUD stories out about Tether collapsing and this whole thing between Bitfinex and Tether. So let's take a look at this article. It basically says here, vouching Bitfinex and Tether's bank accounts hold nearly $3 billion in USD. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, people. So it says here, Zhao Dong, a prominent Chinese early Bitcoin adopter and shareholder in Bitfinex, recently posted on Weibo seeking to provide anecdotal evidence as to the integrity of Bitfinex and Tether's financial reserves. The post claims that Dong and Lo Mao, the chief executive of Big.one, have witnessed firsthand the balances of Bitfinex and Tether's respective bank accounts during a meeting with Bitfinex chief financial officer. The post alleges that the combined bank accounts of Tether and Bitfinex hold nearly $3 billion. Wow. So it says here, Dong seeks to put criticisms of Bitfinex and Tether's opaque banking practices to rest. It says here, Dong, a well-known Chinese early adopter of Bitcoin, has published a post on Weibo claiming that he has personally seen the bank accounts. So I read that part. According to the rough translation, Dong's Weibo post states that Mao and I just had a look at the USD account of Tether and Bitfinex. And it says here, in which Tether's account holds 1.8 billion US dollars and Bitfinex holds 1.1 billion US dollars. The total number of the two accounts is around 3 billion US dollars. And then it goes on to say here, which is beyond the current circulated supply of USD. Okay, this debunks all rumors around USD. So that's good news if you want to take that for truth. And I don't see why there would be a reason for him to lie about that. It says here, the chief executive officer of Big.one published a blog post following the trip, in which an interview between Mr. Davincini and one of Lao's associates is made public. In the interview, Bitfinex CFO claims that the team of Bitfinex has around 50 people and that the Tether team does not work for money, adding that as an early adopter of Bitcoin, the team has a sense of responsibility and mission. Okay? So, what do you guys think about that? So it looks like Lao Mao has actually reversed his opinion on Tether. But it says here, crypto community not so easily convinced. So you know how, man, we as a crypto community, everything is FUD. Doesn't matter what it is. If it goes against our narrative, it's FUD. If it doesn't support, a theme or a movement that you're a part of, it's FUD. So that's just part of this community. It's crazy. I hate it. Wish people would be more of a critical thinker when it comes to this space and just do more research and find out for yourself instead of just going with the herd. So I think, as I've stated before, I kind of supported the Tether. I used it for trading, for hedging, to accumulate dry powder without going into actual USD. It's a great tool, man. And really, once this ERC20 token comes out, that's going to change the game, in my opinion, because you're going to have people start actually accepting Tether as almost like a pseudo USD currency, in my opinion. So what that does to me, it makes this ecosystem more and more the fragility, anti-fragile. It makes it more robust, more stronger, and more resistant to shocks, external shocks from governments, economic events, so on and so forth. So I do want to show you guys, I did some more research, and I actually pulled up from Tether's own website regarding their ERC20 release, because I needed to know that. And here I'm just going to read a few of them here. So one thing I want to note, they're going to be pegging new currencies, new fiat currencies, the pound here, the yen, that's JPY, and the euro is in beta right now. So again, man, this is a game changer. And really, you know, if companies, projects want to feel comfortable enough, they'll be able to utilize these Tether tokens as means of hedging in and out of their ecosystem with their customers. So like a token wouldn't necessarily be needed in, possibly, I'm just kind of speaking aloud, a token wouldn't be necessary in the scenario with Populous, because they could use Tether British Pound if they wanted to, if they chose to. That would eliminate a lot of risk. Not a lot of risk, but it would at least free up some capital reserves for a team, for us in a scenario like that, because they wouldn't have to continually peg and try to keep that token pegged with the British pound. They could just offset that with Tether token. But at any rate, what I wanted to show you guys, if I can find this again here, there was a part in this article that talked about them going into the ERC20 token. So it says here, Tether on Ethereum. So after many months in code review, we are excited to announce the forthcoming launch of Tether USD tokens as an ERC20 token on the Ethereum network. Initially, we are creating a limited supply for contract developers to play with, but we will shortly be offering a service on Tether.to to exchange Omni-based tokens for ERC20 based tokens and vice versa. We are excited to bring a credible dollar-backed token to the Ethereum community for use in fast, easy transfers and smart contracts. And again, you know, this will be a very great tool for many companies that are building dApps on the Ethereum network. And they're going a step further, even people. They're talking about having a Tether on Litecoin. So the team behind the Omni layer also has a live beta deployment of Omni on Litecoin. And we are actively testing Tether issuances and transfers on the Litecoin network. Negligible to zero fees and faster block times make for a sensible alternative to Bitcoin blockchain for issued asset applications. Similar to the ERC20 token, we will be offering a service to swap into and out of Omni on Litecoin Tether tokens. Several existing Tether integrated exchanges are already testing Omni on Litecoin integrations to support the deployment. Man, this is big, people. Let me know your thoughts though about Tether, and they're ambitious, and I think they're doing the right thing. You gotta read through the FUD, people. Do your own due diligence. Great tool to accumulate dry powder, to buy dips. Great tool to just hedge against as well. You know, you should have a small portion of your overall portfolio in, you know, in this case would be kind of considered like M2, M1, M2 money supply, that level where it's not really pegged to it doesn't succumb to the swings of the cryptocurrency markets. So let me know your thoughts, people. Make sure you like and subscribe, and definitely click that bell if you haven't subscribed. Join that Webbot room, all that good stuff. You know the routine. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Holla. Get over there, cryptoblood.io too. Yeah.